and hi and welcome back to my little bubble of light. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise in the background. There's some builders next door again. This reading is, this animal spirit has a message for you, and we're using the Spirit Animal Oracle, and I'm going to be pulling 4 cards, I believe. That's too big a pile. Let's start again. I'm going to be pulling 4 cards for 4 groups, and I'm going to be reading from the book. Obviously I'm going to be using some other cards. I presume you're all over 18, and this reading is for entertainment purposes only. So let's have a look at what animals have a message for you today. Now, it was definitely spirit, dove spirit, be peace. It was definitely spirit that chose this topic. Dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. I thought so. I had a whole list of titles and topics I wanted to cover, and spirit was determined it was this one. I asked several times, and I get that the feeling about this is these readings are going to be all about lightness and joy, and so that's what we've got so far. Electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. Wow. Okay, this is me just choosing the 4 piles. If you looked at the thumbnail and you'd already picked your pile, please just go straight to your group. I will put the links in the description and also in the comments. So yeah, if you've already picked, just go straight to your pile. If I don't give you enough time to pick, obviously just pause the video and just have a little bit of a meditate on it. Eagle spirit, spirit has your back. Wow, I knew it. What great light, uplifting, positive messages we have. So we have dove spirit, be peace, dear spirit, bring a gentle touch. Electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. And eagle spirit, spirit has your back. What beautiful, uplifting, positive, light, joyful messages. So I hope to see you in your group. Hello and welcome if you chose group 1 with dove spirit, be peace. And I'm sorry if you can hear the noise outside. The builders are back next door. There's nothing I can do about it. I felt moved to do the reading now. So we're doing the reading now as spirit guides, and I get the message here is we can still be peaceful, we can still be centered in peace, even when there's disturbances going on, even when there's things happening that we don't want to happen, we can still come back and be in that peace. And isn't that dove lovely? Right, and I shall be reading from the book, and let's have a look if we can find dove spirit. And I don't think I'll read it all. I don't know how long they are. I don't think they're that long actually. 64. Let's have a look. Dove spirit. I'll just read the oracle message. With her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within as you embody tranquility. I knew that was the message, as I said earlier. Above, below and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, just like I said earlier, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? Or can you just carry on regardless? knowing in your heart that that's what you've been guided to do. I think that was the message that I got. The peace you seek raises within and spreads out into the world as Spirit sends her messenger to remind you of the beauty of a harmonious existence with all that is. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart. Oh, that's beautiful. Dove Spirit. Right, let's have a look what other cards we have. I'm just going to pick them as the pile goes. I've just had my piles of cards collapsing. I'm just going to straighten those up. Let's have a look at what we've got. Dove Spirit. Let's put Dove Spirit here, shall we, for a change. And let's see what other cards we have got. Lots of cards, and I've also got my runes, although I don't know where they've gone to at the minute. We have the initiation, rites of passage and crossing the threshold. Right, what's next? Let's see what else we get here. And I can definitely feel that. I mean, I can see how those link in as we're on a path to ascension, as we're raising our energy. We certainly need to kind of bring that in, and that is a rite of passage, isn't that? That is crossing a threshold. I am going to bring peace into everything I do and say, or at least I'm going to try. That's my goal, that's my aim. And as we move into that, it's kind of crossing the threshold. Rebuild. Yeah, rebuilding a life of peace. I'm called to get two, actually. I'm going to shuffle again. And very often we do, you can see at the bottom, a dress is kind of like, it's like a house of cards, and it's been struck by lightning. It's kind of like been destroyed, or being destroyed, or being broken down, and yet she's rebuilding her heart space, her energy from what she's choosing. Doesn't matter what's going on, what disturbances are going on around us. We can choose to be that, and that's something that we learnt. Look at that. Can you believe that? Heart space. We know what that's all about, don't we? Love, peace, joy. Exactly what Spirit is, exactly what we are. Moving into that heart space and working from that heart space. Right, what else have we got here? Is that it? Guilt. That's an odd one to get, isn't it? Very often we do find, don't we, that when we are, thank you, yeah. Let's move this up and put this here because I need another Osho Zen as well. When we decide to move into a new space, when we cross that threshold, when we decide we're going to activate our heart space, activate the higher energies, the lower energies do come up for removal, and simply suppressing them and putting them down is not really going to work. I'm going to put that there. I'm not going to turn it over yet because I've still got a few things I want to say about this guilt card. These emotions do come up for removal, and although if we're in a higher state of being, we can just consistently move into that higher state of being, and eventually we'll just starve the lower vibrational energy from existence. It just won't have the energy to continue. It won't be a thing anymore because we won't be feeding it any energy. A lot of the time we as human beings just aren't able to do that. Very often it's just easier just to tackle the energy, get rid of it, and block and block removal. I've done a whole bundle on block and block removal on my membership site, my website. There's also, I think there's a couple of videos, free videos on YouTube covering the very, very basics. But as these blocks do come up, as the shadow work does come up for removal, and obviously the one that we're focusing on here is guilt. In some way you've been made to feel guilty, and I do get this is a higher group, and I do get that this is a base core belief. So it was probably imprinted in childhood, possibly very early childhood. I'm seeing a baby. So this is obviously a family or ancestral guilt. I do want to point out the fact that you can, I hope you can see there anyway, the guilt scratching at a head is all in the head. And it's not just, oh, it's all in your head, but it is all in your head, because life is thoughts, life is belief. The way we experience life is our thoughts and our belief, and we express that in everything we say, do, the energy we create, and the manifestations we create. And I do get this is a lot of energy around that, and if we're clearing energy, we should, I would suggest focusing on that, the head area, to clear that energy. But certainly look at guilt. Let's see if we can get a little bit more about this. And I don't want to be focusing on the lower vibration, but it is important to, we'll see as we go out along how much we need to focus on this. I guess with the cards that come up, we are looking here at Dove Spirit bringing more peace into our lives and ergo into the world. Oh, morality. There we go. Guilt around morality. The thing I love about this card, or hate about this card, whichever way you look at it, love about it because it expresses a point very succinctly, is this figure is made to look very puritanical, and yet the morality of that puritanical ideology has caged her and turned her into, perhaps we can see here, she looks very cynical and bitter perhaps. I don't know if you can express that in a little bit of face. You can see it's certainly blinded her. You can see that we can't see any eyes there. It's certainly become blinding, and it's certainly caged the heart area, as well as a couple other chakras by the look of it. We can have this fake morality, can't we? That can disrupt our peace, disrupt our moving into being initiated into this higher level of energy. Certainly focusing on the heart chakra and heart energy here, which obviously is love energy, which is obviously the energy of spirit, of source. And I get that a lot of this is the morality that is being broken down here so that we can move into that heart space and rebuild that heart space anew. I personally certainly have been working on removing the lower removing very core blocks, ancestral family blocks that are blocking me from raising my energy, and certainly focusing on that joy and that peace, particularly peace and being peaceful and moving into that peace energy. Let's get 3 of these. Knight of Crystals, endurance and determination. Yeah, we certainly do have to be determined to look into the darkness at those blocks, and determined as well to bring new energy into our lives, to rebuild our lives differently. 4 of Feathers, sanctuary and rest. Yeah. It can be hard for some people, hands up, me included, me specifically I guess, to retreat from the world and really find some sanctuary and some rest. But I guess that's where we're being guided here, to find that Dove Spirit. It does take determination, because you do have to take step after step after step and keep reminding yourself and keep bringing you back to that ideal. It's a lot of why I created the membership site, and it's a lot of why I've created my star anchors. You can find out more on my website, starlightworkcircle.com. Star anchors are just reminders that bring us back to that point of, no, this is what I'm seeking today, this is what I'm looking for today. Everything on my website is meant to take you to higher levels of vibration, everything, including the membership site. And the reason I chose a membership site was because it's something that you can stay with, you can use the resources over and over and over again. And it does take that determination. And if sanctuary and rest are something that is very foreign to you, or something that you don't very often do, or something that's not really part of what you experience, Spirit is asking you to find that as much as you possibly can, despite what's going on around you, and find that peace, Spirit, within that. Now my candle has just gone out. I'm going to go and get a new candle because the table's gone dark. There we go, new candle. And despite the disruptions, despite the disturbances, despite things going wrong, we are carrying on and we're plunging forward. Right, what's next? 8 of Acorns, energy and results. Yeah, this is so important, isn't it? This is our manifestations, the beliefs and the thoughts that we are creating are moving us, are creating our choices. They're creating our words, they're creating our actions, but they're also creating our energy and our manifestations. I'm sure you already know this. This is clearly just a reminder. And do remember that. And it's also interesting that this looks like an eel. I wonder if that's an electric eel, obviously with the word energy and results. The results you're going to be getting are going to be different. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck or a little bit blocked, this is certainly the advice for you here, is to really focus on that energy and removing any sense of guilt here, or this fake morality here. We have to do this, we have to do this, this is the way things are done, this is the way things have to be done, particularly now I'm looking here for my runes, and I'm going to pull a couple of runes because my guide was very specific that we have to have runes. Sorry if you can see me scrabbling around. I don't have much room on this table. And there we are, another disruption, another distraction. Cards fell everywhere and I was having trouble finding places to go. Obviously I'll cut that out because you don't need to see that, but this obviously life, isn't it? Disruptions and distractions and I see, yeah, we'll just get 2 here. This is the rune of strength, and it is reversed. What I got immediately when I pulled this was your strength is being used against you. And this is why we have to move into this dove spirit and into this heart space and rebuild that and initiate into that, because your strength is being used against you here. It is your strength that is blocking you, is causing you not to be able to move forward in the way that you want to, whatever that is. That's different for everybody, obviously. Your ability or your childhood training, if you like, to just kind of carry on and move through it and push through it and just carry on anyway. And I'm not saying just give up, I'm not saying just give up everything, obviously I'm not saying that, but it's your strength and your ability to move ahead without stopping and finding that space within, and finding that joy within, and finding that peace within, finding that peace and that love and that harmony for you. And once again, I'm moved to tears. It is that's stopping you from moving forward in the way that you want to. Obviously, that's not for everybody. If that's what you're finding in your life, then that message is for you. But certainly being used against you in terms of not moving into that positive space, not caring how you feel, and not looking at the cause of why you do what you do, and why you're going, why you keep moving forwards in the way that you're moving forwards, and not looking at what's blocking that or removing that, because obviously we want to move through this as quickly as possible. And it is a tiny part of the reading, and this, staying on the positive, is the rune of breakthrough. It is an indication at the end of a cycle, and I get that all of this is about moving you into a new cycle and ending the old cycle and moving into a space of prosperity and joy and abundance, or even more so than you are now if you're already in that space. And I get that this is a lot more complicated than I'm kind of trying to put this as simply as possible, because I get that this is a lot more complicated for that. When we look at our own individual situation, I get that it's usually more complicated than that, isn't it? But I do get, and I get as well, saying that moving into that spirit of peace is easily said and harder done, isn't it? Moving into that love energy all the time, you know, consistently, is easy said. But if you needed a reminder, this is it. If you don't know how to do that, then please research that. There's plenty of stuff on my membership site, on my website, removing blocks, moving into love energy, and how to do that, using anchors, using all kinds of things, and I'm always adding to the library on the membership site. But I know it's easy said and harder done, but if you needed a reminder, this is it. And if you need any help, like I say, just go along to my membership site, or just carry on watching my videos. I kind of do a lot of this anyway. And I think that's all the messages I've got for you, Group 1. I'm sending you lots and lots and lots of love and light, and I hope that message resonated with you. I know, like I said, it does go a lot deeper than that, the energy here. I don't know whether we're going to get into that in any of the other readings. But it does all come down to the basic premise of be peace and move into that love energy. And how important that is for every aspect of your life, including your enjoyment of life and your experience of life, as well as your manifestations and your actions, etc. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you in another reading. Thank you for joining me, Group 1. Bye. Hello, Group 2, and we are looking at the animals. This animal spirit has a message for you, and you chose, Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. So let's have a look at what Dear Spirit has to say to you today. I'm going to read from the book. It's the only one I'm going to read from the book. It was the only one I've read from the book last time, so it's probably the only one I'm going to read from the book this time. Dear Spirit, 55. Right, let's have a look at what Dear Spirit has to say for you. I'm just going to read the oracle message. The time has come to be gentle and diplomatic when dealing with others. You might have found yourself in a situation where negotiations are necessary in order to reach your goal. Be mindful of the words you choose, but do not worry. Dear Spirit reminds you that you have the ability to be sure-footed and confident while showing humility and respect for others. You will find that your capacity for calm and grounded communication is heightened at this time. Follow the way of Dear Spirit and you will do well, gaining the respect of others and finding common ground that is pleasing to you. Remember that understanding others and their needs will be more powerful at this time than putting your own first. If you do that, you will be rewarded tenfold. Right. Obviously, this is about facing some kind of situation where you have to deal with or communicate with other people. Now, what I often find is if you're not currently experiencing that, it's likely that you will be coming across a situation where you will need this advice very shortly. And like I've just read, Dear Spirit suggests that you communicate with people empathetically and compassionately. And I know you all already do that because you're all light workers or starseeds more than likely, or empaths or highly sensitive people, or all of the above. And we do get knocked with that a little bit in life, don't we? We do get that knocked out of us sometimes, having to deal with the harshness of reality. But this is certainly suggesting that we try and keep that compassionate, loving energy as we do communicate with people. And we have Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? What is your soul calling you to do? And it does have to do with communication with other people and dealing with a situation compassionately. Oh, we've got 3 here. Let's have a look what we've got here. Nurture, take the lead, and new vitality. Let's see what other cards we get here. Certainly we're being asked to take the lead in a situation, and this is involving communication with other people. New vitality is going to be available and we need to nurture. This card always makes me think of self-nurture, self-love, moving into that self-love. But certainly it seems here that this has to do with the world as a whole, the outside world, and certainly finding new vitality to be able to do this. Let's see what the Osho Zen cards have for us. Let's squeeze that up. I had to do that last time. Participation again. And the Miser. Now we've had the Miser before, and the Miser always comes up for me. This is about, to me anyway, having been brought information, been brought gifts, been brought spiritual energetic gifts, and not sharing them with the world. I am being asked to share with you why I do that. Certainly the reason I do that is because I don't believe anybody's interested. I don't believe they're worth anything to anybody else. That's obviously a product of my childhood, in the way I was taught and brought up as a child. Yours may be slightly different. I was asked to share that, so I do get that that is very likely to be part of it at very, very least. But this is certainly about other people taking the lead, answer the call of spirit, communication with other people, participation with other people, sharing. And this is certainly about sharing our gifts with the world and not holding them back. As you can see here, she's become very, her coat has turned into a wall, a brick wall, and well, it's not brick, it looks like stone, but you know what I mean, a wall, and she's become very ugly and bitter by the looks of it, and twisted, while she's hoarding on to all these gifts, this wealth here. I just got, put yourself out there. If that was a message you needed to hear, I've no idea where these readings are going when I start these readings, but it certainly seems to be a theme here to put yourself out there and to communicate with people, and how to communicate with people. Certainly as a light worker, it gets, or a star seed, and or a highly sensitive person, and or an empath, or all of the above. As I say, we do get beaten down, and we do sometimes let the world get on top of us, don't we? And we do sometimes have to change ourselves a little bit to like manage that. If you're struggling with that at all, and I do get it's partly this, especially if you're an empath or a highly sensitive person. On my membership site, on my website, starlightworkcircle.com, I do have a bundle on protection, and protection is so important for empaths and highly sensitive people. There's lots and lots of videos out, there's lots and lots of blogs out there that deal with protection. It's so important to put that energetic protection on ourselves, so that we can direct what energy comes to us, who communicates with us in terms of spirit or energies, and what we're taking in, and manage that. It doesn't necessarily have to shut our energy down. We decide how we put that protection on, but I can't obviously go into all of that here. Like I said, you'll find that on my membership site, my website, starlightworkcircle.com. Four of Crystals, contrast and security. This is about, obviously it's about contrast, it's about living in the contrast, which is basically what I've just said, learning how to deal with that contrasting energy, and that contrasting energy manifesting in the people that we meet and experience, and security, which to me is about finding that balance of dealing with the contrast and the security of knowing who we are, which is we are spirit, we are source energy, we are a little piece of God, we are a little piece of love and peace and joy. I'm sorry if the word God triggered anyone. I know a lot of people get triggered by the word God. We are a little bit of source energy here on earth, and that is our security, knowing who we are. We are eternal, we are immortal spiritual beings, and if we can anchor ourselves in that, which is specifically what my Awakening, Alignment and Ascension bundle is going to be about, if we can. But you don't need that. You don't need my membership site, you don't need my website to know that, to get to practice that, to be able to do that. If you can anchor yourself in that security despite being in the contrast, then you're on your way, aren't you? You can live life joyfully and feel that security and safety. Sorry, I was just distracted by the thing. I'm pretty sure this is an otter. I could be wrong about that. I don't want to go to the book. I'm pretty sure this is an otter. And otters are all about joy and love and playfulness. They're very nurturing, they're very loving to each other, and they're very playful as well, very playful creatures, and bringing that playfulness, that nurturing, what did I just say, nurturing, and to the people around you, to the people you're sharing with, to the people you're leading, to the people, your family, to your friends, to yourself, and finding that playfulness in there. Right, let's have a look. There was a lot come through there, wasn't there? And we have the Ace of Shells. Happiness and abundance. How beautiful. I don't know what I could further add to that. Happiness and abundance. And that, I guess, is where this is leading to. Abundance is not just about money. And I know you know that, but if you need a reminder, abundance is about having lots of good things in your life, loving people around you, lots of good energy, health, work we enjoy. Abundance is so much more than just money, and I do get that's a specific message. I don't know whether that's for someone specific here or just for everybody who's here. Certainly this is about bringing that in, and I get that this is the guidance that's going to do this. Share your gifts. The more you share, what's that awful song I used to sing at my school when I was young? Love is something, if you give it away, it's like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you have so many they roll all over the floor. And obviously I'm not talking about giving you money away, but I am talking about that love, that joy, experiencing that, being in that, feeling that, and sharing that. I got completely lost there with what I was saying. I got taken down a new path, and I lost what I was in the middle of saying. Right, and I can't find my runes. And I literally can't find my runes. My runes have vanished off the face of the earth. I've just been scrabbling around, looking everywhere to see if I could find my runes, but I can't find them anywhere. So I'm going to swizzle these around a little bit, and I'm going to see if I have another pack of cards just to pull you one last card and see what that says. Let's go for Starseed Oracle and see if we can get one more message from Dear Spirit. What is the message that Dear Spirit would like to give you? Guidance. You are not alone. You are guided by masters and teachers of the highest realms. Okay, let me just do one more. Vibration. Your vibration is being raised to higher levels. You are connected to cosmic intelligence. So I guess this is not just sharing our gifts, but receiving the gifts as well that other people share. And most importantly, bring the gentle touch to everything. The gentleness is your strength. It is the strength of spirit. It is the strength of source, and it's your strength as well. Well, Group 2, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that message resonated with you. I hope that it brought some kind of clarity to any situation that you're in or any situation that you're moving into. I apologise for you not having a rune. I just can't find them anywhere. But I am sending you lots and lots and lots of love and light. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another reading. Thanks for joining me, Group 2. Bye. Hello, Group 3. If you pick the Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. And this is the message the Electric Eel Spirit wants to bring to you today. I'm going to use some other cards, but I'm going to read this from the book. So I'll just read the Oracle meaning Electric Eel. Sorry, I got distracted then, as I often do, as we light workers often do. 73. Let's have a look. I'm just going to read the Oracle message. Seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of the electric eel appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path. So do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come. For Spirit wants to shower you with the love, success and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, innovations. This is a wondrous sign for you today. Wow, what an absolutely beautiful message. Now, I did have an eel, not in this card, but in another reading. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was group 1, actually, not group 2, because they had the otter. I think it was group 1, if you were drawn to group 1. If not, just ignore that. But I think for some of you, there's a message for you as well in group 1. All of the messages are positive, but I don't think we've had anyone this positive so far, and so uplifting and so full of life and energy. And it is inspiration, isn't it, that brings this energy and this enjoyment and this life to life. And I am certainly feeling it in this reading. Bring your ideas to life. Right, let's see what other messages we have in here. What else? What other messages Electric Eel Spirit has to bring to us today? I'm taking these cards as the indicator, as in that's what the overriding energy. And what an energy! That is the overriding energy of the reading. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to? Isn't that strange? This was also in group 2. So there you go. Right, let's have a look at what else we've got to do. This is a calling, isn't it? What is your soul calling you to do? Listening to that soul, listening to our soul's messages, connecting in with that spirit, connecting in with that spirit guidance, and feeling that life and feeling that energy and feeling that life, and answering the call of that spirit, whatever that is. And we have patience, adventure, and the outsider. Patience, adventure, the outsider. I get a feeling from this that the message coming through here is you are not the outsider here. I know we often feel like that as light workers. We can often feel like that, that we're different, that we don't understand the way that people are. We find it hard to fit into that. If you look at this image here, you'll see that the lock is actually open. It's not actually locked. The padlock on this is actually open. There's no, we're looking through the gate, we're wanting to go through the gate into all this light and beautiful rainbow colours. There's nothing actually stopping us from doing that, and I get that with these cards. This is about stepping in the adventure. I know it takes time, I know it takes patience, and it is sometimes a waiting game, isn't it? We do have to wait a moon cycle or many moon cycles for that to happen. And I get so far, and we'll wait for the other cards, but let's shuffle through the cards. I get a lot of that is based on a belief that you can, or a belief that you're part of this, or a belief that you can meet people on the same wavelength as you teach. And balance. Teach balance. Teach balance, or find balance maybe. Teach balance. Certainly this card, what I'm drawn to is the fact that it's certainly a merging of the male and female here, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Obviously we have both within us, and the ideal obviously is to balance that male and female energy, despite whatever your gender is, whatever your sex is. It doesn't matter. we both have divine feminine and divine masculine, and ideally it's the yin and yang, isn't it? The perfect balance of the two here. I don't know if you're called to teach, sorry, the energy seems to be that excitement, that bringing that energy and that stepping into the adventure here and answering the call of spirit. If you feel the need to teach, whether it's the world as a whole, or whether it's your family, or whether it's your friends, or just share information with your community, spirit is supporting that. And obviously finding, I see, finding that masculine feminine balance into bringing your ideas to life, isn't it? The feminine energy, I'm sure I'm telling you what you already know, but the feminine energy is generally receptive, patient, waiting, whereas the masculine energy is extrovert, out in the world, doing. Masculine energy is doing, the female energy is being. And I get that what I'm being shown here is that maybe a little bit out of balance, and we may need to kind of ask, well, what energy am I in, and what energy would it benefit me to move into? What I'm seeing here is that for some of you at least, and it is some of you, not all of you, we have moved into a too far into the feminine energy, and we need to bring a little bit of that masculine male energy out here. I think it's so easy for us light workers to slip into our little bubble of light and just kind of sit there and stay there and be with spirit and hibernate and hide and just feel, well, I'm an outsider, but yeah, I can deal with that. I'll just sit here and be an outsider in my happy own little bubble of light. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. I do it. I love it. I enjoy it. That's why I'm laughing as I'm saying it. But I get that this is saying to kind of move into that masculine energy. And I do apologise if I'm getting that wrong. You know what energy you're sitting in better than anybody. In fact, probably only you know what energy you're sitting in. So I apologise if that's not for everybody. Then just ignore that. If you feel you're in more of your masculine energy, then do that. But obviously this fluctuates all the time. Some days we may want to get up and get out there, and some days we may just want to sit in our little light bubble. Obviously you follow your guidance, you follow your intuition. But this is certainly, this Eel spirit is certainly asking you to bring your ideas to life, whether that is actually getting out there or just planning something or doing something with that energy. I guess that's what they were saying, doing something with your energy. And it's certainly along the lines of teaching, and it's certainly in the lines of following your soul into that, stepping into the adventure. Yeah, it won't happen overnight. We've got to shift our energy a little bit, but that's certainly what the Eel spirit is saying here. Right, we've got the Two of Crystals, balance. What was I saying? Balance and adaptability. What is the situation calling for, is what they've just said. What is the situation calling for? Is it a bit more masculine energy? Is it a bit more feminine energy? And how can I kind of adjust that? That's quite highly advanced to be able to adjust that. So I get that you know how to do that. Move from being to doing, doing to being. Let's have a look. What else have we got? The Ten of Crystals, stability and attainment. And it's, I don't know whether that, I don't know the difference between crocodiles and alligators. I have no idea, literally no idea at all. I have never ever seen a crocodile or an alligator, not a wild one, not a captive one. I've never ever seen it either. Certainly to me, that looks like a very going out and getting what you want energy, being highly adapted to your surroundings, And like the kangaroo, actually, adapting, and they said adapting, didn't they? Adaptability, yeah. Adapting, being completely adapted to your surroundings and perfectly for what you need to do. I get you've positioned yourself into this, haven't you? If you are questioning that, please don't. I'm getting an energy here of, there was a little hint here of like doubt and lack of an understanding of your worthiness of being able to manifest this spiritual message is what's just come through to me. Now, I don't know what this message is, how big or small this message is, but I get there's a lot in here about having mastered many skills of how to be a light worker in this world and still have that energy of spirit, that electricity, that excitement, that adventure, seeking the adventure. Because I get that's why we came here, but I get that gets knocked out of us quite a lot, doesn't it, with having to deal with the contrast. But a lot of it has to do with that balance and adaptability. Now, group number 2 didn't have a room because I'd lost where I'd put them, and I just remembered as soon as I'd finished group 2's reading, I found them again. So you are lucky enough, you can get, I'm going to give you a couple of rooms. I kind of get the feeling that this reading has been all over the place. I just stopped a moment there because as I was pulling this room, I was thinking, which way out is it? Which way round is it? Which way up is it? I've twisted it round, but I wasn't sure whether I twisted it round or whether it was meant to be twisted round. And as it turns out, it doesn't matter. And I want to give you that message. If you're not sure whether you got it right or not, it doesn't matter. This rune is all about partnership, and I was taught it like this. It makes me think of when you put a kiss on a text or an email or a note. It always reminds me of a kiss, and it always makes me think of the universe sending us a little kiss. So the universe has just sent you a little kiss, a little bit of love, a little bit of energy. I got choked up then. There's a lot of love coming through for you. Right now, a lot of love coming through for you right now. You've been so strong for so long. And I know it doesn't say that here, but Spirit really wants you to feel that excitement, that adventure again. You've learned an incredible amount. And the universe really does, the universe really does want to send you a lot of love right now. Sorry, I got choked up then. I take a moment. I have trouble channeling that level and that intensity of love. But trust me, it did all come through for you. And if you're watching this reading, hopefully you'll feel it, but it will be reaching you. This is the rune of fertility. And I get that if anything is going to bring fertility, it's this energy of excitement, of adventure, of listening to your soul and following, despite anything else that goes on. You are perfectly adapted to your surroundings. And if there's any message here at all, it certainly is to help you get towards that fertility, because we all want our crops to grow, whatever our crops are, don't we? Whether that's job or business or relationships or family, we all want that goodness in our life, don't we? That fertility, that bringing forth the goodness into our lives is all I can say. And that What an absolutely beautiful reading. I'm absolutely blown away by the energy in this reading. It's felt to me not very cohesive. It felt to me a little bit bitty and bobby, and I don't like that. That makes me quite uncomfortable. I hope you understood the messages that were coming through. I get that if I look at it logically, it was kind of cohesive, but it seems to me that there's some kind of doubt that keeps arising in you, because I doubted when I pulled this room whether I'd twisted it round. I'm doubting now whether this reading is cohesive. And I get that this is a message for you, and how you do that, how you move past that, is just step into that excitement, that adventure. Know that Spirit's got your back, and things will work out for you. You're perfectly adapted, you're perfectly able to do with this, you're perfectly connected. And I do hope you understood that. Thank you so much for joining me, Group 3. This has been an absolutely amazing reading. I hope that this has brought you some clarity or guidance or understanding at least. And thank you so much for joining me. I've absolutely adored this reading. I hope you have too, and I hope to see you in another reading. Thanks for joining me, Group 3. Bye. Hello, beautiful Group 4. You are Group 4 if you picked the message from Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back, and I'm going to be finding out what message Eagle Spirit has for you in 1 second. I'm going to be reading from the book. However, I do want to say a couple of things in between this. Normally I just do pretty much one reading to the next reading when I'm in the flow, but before I started this, and that's the way it's gone today, before I started this reading, a couple of things happened. The first thing that happened was I heard a blackbird singing, and blackbirds to me, another bird, blackbirds to me always indicate joy, because their song is just so beautiful. Every time I hear a blackbird singing, it kind of brings me into that moment of joy and just enjoying life, just being in the moment. And the other thing that happened was that I decided to take a break. Now, like I say, normally I'll run from one reading to the next while I'm in the flow, but I decided, I needed a drink, so I went and had a cup of tea, had some toast, which is my favourite thing ever, and, well, almost, and I normally kind of just plough through and just carry on going while I'm, like I say, while I'm in the right vibration. But I knew that if I took a break that I would come back fresher and with more energy. Now, I get that these were two specific messages for this group. It could be that you need to take a little bit of break from what it is you're doing, and you'll come back with more energy, you'll come back fresher. And obviously Eagle Spirit's message is Spirit has your back, so don't worry, Spirit has your back. But also to switch into that joy and find the triggers you can find for switching into that joy as well. Like I say, every single time I hear a blackbird singing, it brings me back into the present moment, because I just have to sit and enjoy that beautiful song. With my offspring, they love pigeons, so every time they see a pigeon they go into joyful mode, which is beautiful. But maybe it's time you started to have a look for those triggers. And I do want to say I'm so excited because I've just started working on my awakening alignment and ascension bundle of videos, and well, there's lots of different things. It's more podcast videos, workbooks, etc, etc, all kinds of different things to kind of get you into alignment, awakening and ascension. And those really are little tips. I know what they were brought to me in the moment for me to kind of raise my energy, bring more energy back in, but it's certainly a message here for you. If you're interested, that bundle will be starting soon. It's on my membership site, on my website, starlightworkcircle.com. But anyway, if that's a message for you, obviously you don't need my membership to tell you that. I'm telling you that now. Find ways to trigger yourself back into that and love and joyful energy. Take a break if you need to. You'll come back fresher and you'll come back with more energy. But nevertheless, let's get on to the rest of your reading and see exactly what Eagle Spirit has to say. I'm going to read it from the book. Eagle Spirit is page 70. I'm going to read Eagle Spirit from the book, just the oracle message. Think of eagles flying high above the other birds, soaring in the wind. Eagle Spirit has appeared to ask whether you're willing to soar to new heights, even if that means solitude for a short while. Truly, all the wisdom of the world is available to you. When storms flash across the sky, it's Eagle Spirit that raises you above it all, helping you conquer fear and overcome adversity, reminding you that Spirit has your back and wants you to experience life at its fullest, which is what I've just said, isn't it? Kind of stepping into that enjoyment, living life at its fullest, being and doing. And alright, sorry, I'll carry on. At this moment, you are meant to know that you have the highest of wisdom and courage within, gifted to you by Spirit and all the angels. Oh, that's beautiful. Boldly build your nest in a lofty space and know that now you can fly effortlessly, proudly embodying Eagle Spirit in all her glory and grace, claiming what is truly yours in divine timing. Yeah, that's beautiful. Just reminding you there, certainly, that, you know, joy and, what did they say? Let's have a look. It was 70, wasn't it? I've forgotten the words. Glory and grace, effortlessly and proudly. Glory and grace is yours because of who you are, because you are Spirit, because you are Source, and that is always within you. And if you do need to step back, take a break, remind yourself of the joy and the love and the beauty in the world all around you, and fly with joy. Right, that's it, I think. Let's have a look what else we've got. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? I guess only you know that. You know your individual journey. You know where it is you're being called to. You know where it is you're being called to fly to. Now, I did get this before, and I did say at the time, it was in a reading quite a while ago, I didn't know what Imrama was, but I think it's somewhere along the source of all humanity in terms of star seeds come from. I don't actually have the book here, I don't think. Yes, I do have the book here. I've just found it, Imrama. Now, I'm not going to read this one again because I've already read you something. And now I can't even find it. Imrama 98. Ah, the Celtic word Imrama means journey of the soul. Okay, I was thinking of another card then. It's about physical journeys, and certainly we get that with the Eagle Spirit and flying, don't we? But let's have a look what other cards we've got, and let's see where this is going. Are we picking 2 or 3? Move. Coming together. There's a lot of movement in this, isn't there? Flying, journeying, moving. A dedicated effort. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of journeying in this, isn't there? Is it that you're being called to go somewhere specifically? travel somewhere, or maybe spiritually you're being asked to move somewhere. Let's see what else we get and see what we can... certainly they're encouraging you to do it, whatever it is. Let's put Eagle Spirit here for a second. Slowing down, trust, and the Rebel. Okay, this then is about, I get that there's a question over your head about you moving, either moving forward in your journey, moving forward with a project, actually physically moving, going somewhere, possibly reaching out to somebody. But I get what's the advice here is just take a moment, just stop, because that's what we did, take a break, didn't we? Take a moment, slow down. And oddly enough, the tortoise here, this is the tortoise and the hare is one of the messages in my Awakening Alignment and Ascension bundle that I'm just doing on my website, on my membership site. And it's all about habit and persistence, isn't it? The tortoise gets there and beats the hare, who's speedy, by habit and persistence. And I get that that's a message for somebody out there, maybe not for everybody, but it is a message for somebody out there. If you're interested in my membership site or any of the work that I do, or the stuff that I do, it's on my website, starlightatsecond.com. Anyway, slow down and have a little think. What do we need to do here? I get this, I've just heard shift in energy, and although this card is trust, she's leaping into the void, if you like. And I'm not telling anyone to leap off anything, but she's leaping off in the trust that she will be caught here. And she is, in case you're wondering. That's why it's called trust and not distrust. And it may cause you to rebel against certain programming, is what the word I've just got. It may cause you to rebel in your spiritual calling against certain programming. And this is the whole thing. This is the whole path of awakening, alignment and ascension, isn't it? Recognizing where that lower vibrational energy is, possibly even considering where it's come from, although it's not necessary, is it? And then following that inner calling, that inner guidance, so we can raise above. Trust and spirit has your back, so we can raise ourselves above the fray, if you like, above the contrast, above the everyday, and move towards that. And certainly when I got this coming through, it may be that you are being asked to, or wondering whether you should connect with some person or some people, but certainly when that came through, I felt the coming together was about you and spirit, and connecting in with spirit. Obviously, I believe you're already connected in. If you're having trouble with that, more on my membership site, website, starlightatsecond.com. But these slow down and dedicated effort, I do discuss, the video I'm just about to record for my Alignment, Ascension and Awakening bundle is about habit and persistence, and taking the time, the repetition to do that over and over, you know, to focus on your goal and continue moving towards your goal slowly. There's lots of more advice on the video that I'm looking at now, lots and lots and lots, and how to do that. But what I'm getting from, I'm sorry about the noise, if you can hear the noise outside, it's builders are back again next door. Nothing I can do about it. But slowing down and taking things step by step, that's exactly what I'm talking about on this video. And I get that this is a message for you here. Slowing down and taking things step by step, and taking a break and looking at that situation I get that Eagle Spirit is saying, you know, you do have that, what was it, grace and something to soar above the fray and to reach new heights as well. But it is a process. And I get that that's a lot of the message here. Certainly the message that's coming through most strongly is about taking a break. Right, I'm going to try and get you some more cards and some runes as well, but I don't know where I'm going to put them. I don't know where I'm going to fit them on. I guess we shall find out when we get to that. Or I guess we'll find out when we get to that, if I can speak properly, rather than guess. But step-by-step process. Again, you don't know until you're in it, do you? Once you get started, you can kind of wiggle things around and move things around and find out where things are best. Oh, card thrown on the floor. Let's see what that is. Oh, yes, of course, another animal. We've had two animals all the way through this. The Queen of Acorns. Passion and creativity. To a lot of people, this is rebelling, isn't it? I believe this is a deer. I could be wrong. There's all sorts of different deer species, aren't there? But it looks like a deer to me. But very often, passion and creativity does come from spirit, and creativity, inspiration is a part of our spiritual connection, and very often we are taught to be very right-brained and not left-brained, and so very logical, very practical. And I get that there's a place for that. I'm not saying there's not a place for that. Certainly here there's advice about there being practical and following steps and keeping going and habit and persistence, but being right-brained as well. And I did have another message in one of the other readings about balancing the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and I do get that here as well. That creativity is very, I think I got it the wrong way around actually. Is it right-brained is your creativity and left-brained is your logic, isn't it? Because it crosses over, doesn't it? So your left brain is in control of the right hand side of your body, the hand you write with, if you're right-handed obviously, and the left brain is in control, you know what I'm saying anyway. But getting it, sorry, what I was saying was, we went off on a little tangent there, didn't we? It wasn't a tangent, obviously the message is coming through, but passion and creativity is often a rebellion, isn't it? Because it is very often what we are taught not to do, not to be daydreamy, not to play, not to create, but to get down and get to work and I don't know, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but spirit is calling you to explore this a little bit more. What else have we got? Zebra. Temperance, balance and harmony. Well, I get that that's balancing again, the divine masculine and divine feminine, the doing and the being, and harmony. But I get that this is internal balancing and harmony as well, and I get that this is what you're being asked to do. This seems to be two very separate things. This maybe is the journey here of marrying these two very different things, which is the perfect balance of divine masculine and divine feminine, isn't it? That being in the spiritual, being connected, being in that creativity, but also applying that with a logic, slowing down and dedicated effort, so that you can fly high above the world. And maybe that does take a little bit of a rebel here. Oh look, cute little panda. Ace of Crystals, manifestation and prosperity. And there's the physical, there's the masculine, divine masculine. Obviously it doesn't matter what sex or what gender you are. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about the balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine, and we all have divine masculine and divine feminine, and hopefully they're as balanced as possible. Certainly in this reading, it looks as though if you do not feel they are balanced, certainly to move into a space where you are balancing that, so you can be and do, so that you can be spirit in body, so that you can enjoy the physical, but whilst knowing who you are in terms of a spiritual being, in terms of spirit. Now, I have been pulling runes. Once again, I don't know where we're going to put them. This looks a bit of a mess, but nevertheless, let's pull you a couple of runes. When I pulled this, now I did this with another reading, but I get this for a very different reason. I pulled it out and I did wonder whether I twisted it round by accident. This is the rune of growth. I'm not saying the rune name because I always seem to get it wrong, but this is the rune of growth, and when it's reversed, it means that something's blocking your growth. And what I get very strongly with this rune is that something has come along to block your growth. Now, this is not to punish you in any way. It's not negative karma. It's not here to hurt you. It's not here to make you suffer. And when these things happen, it's always a good idea to ask the question, why? Why has this happened? What do I need to do? What is it that I'm missing here is specifically the message that I'm getting. And I get that whatever it is that's asked you to slow down is asking you to look at where it is you want to go, where it is you want to build your nest, where it is you want to journey to. And there's a lot of journey in here. Life is a journey, and there's been other stuff as well, I know that, but where is it you want to take your life? Where is it you want to journey to? And what is it you need to become or experience to get there, to create that? Now, this rune is about defense, and it once again is about the things that block us, and it once again is about not creating the circumstances that block us as well, because everything that we have in our lives we have brought there, and is there for our benefit if we use it correctly. It is also asking you, once again, we got right from the very beginning, before I'd even pulled any more than this one card, the advice or guidance to pause, to wait, to take a break, to process information, to look at your situation, and really focus on where it is you want to go and what it is you want to create. And more importantly as well, I'm getting what it is you want to experience along the way. Because slowing down is not just about taking things logically in a step-by-step approach, but it's also taking a step back. It's also taking a break as well. And that's a really strong message here. Something has already come along to cause you to do this. Now, whether this is an external situation or whether this is just saying, I am taking a break, or even, I know I need to take a break right now and sit back and think about things a little bit, and certainly breaking the mould right here. But more than anything, what Spirit wants you to know is that Spirit, Source, your higher self, your spirit guides has your back. And they do want you to know that wherever it is you want to move to, in that very male doing way, dedicated effort, that they are there to support you and help you do that. And yes, it does mean connecting in. It does require trust. It does require you following the soul messages, but Spirit want you to know that they do want you to soar, they do want you to fly, they do want you to be happy, they do want you to build your beautiful nest wherever it is that you want to build that. Well, I hope this message resonated with you, lovely group 4. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this message resonated with you. I hope you found this message helpful and useful. I really do appreciate you being here. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and I hope that you join me in another reading. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.